Caleb Williams, his #1 problem that I saw in the game film is he can't read coverage. He does not scan through, his full field progressions. And obviously, the main problem with him, other than that, would have to be the fact he holds on to the ball for 100 million seconds. And that's where all the highlights of him running around and throwing it up to a guy wide open 55 yards down the field come from, is him not being able to read coverage and holding on to the ball for 7 seconds. This guy is horrible. Horrible under pressure. That's my third talking point here in this video, is he sucks under pressure. The Notre Dame game is a great example of that. He was put under pressure a lot, but the offensive time actually gave him a lot of time to throw in certain plays. But when, he had like an NFL-like pocket where he had about 2 or 2.5, maybe even 3 seconds to read the field and throw the ball, he couldn't do it once. Well, another week, another video about Bears quarterback Caleb Williams, and I knew that Caleb Williams was going to have a horrendous performance against the 49ers, who are pretty much ravaged on defense, have a lot of injuries and other stuff like that going on. And Caleb Williams and the Bears offense looked stagnant, looked pathetic. It was just an awful performance as a team, and it was just embarrassing. It was really fucking hard to watch. Now, what people down in the comments below are going to say, without the full context of the actual game itself, because, the game isn't just about the stats the players are able to collect. The game is about the fucking game, what's happening on the field every snap, every down, every quarter, every possession, every fucking time players step on the damn field. That's what matters, and little stats don't fucking matter. And what people in the comments are going to say is, oh, he threw 2 touchdowns, he had a high completion percentage, oh, he had a decent passer rating, it's not his fault, the offensive line sucks, or whatever the fuck. Shitty excuse, and that totally ignores the actual context of the game that just took place. So you're removing the context of the game that just happened to push a narrative that's not even true, because you're exposing yourself for not actually watching the game. Caleb Williams can't read defense. That's why he holds on to the ball for so long, and that's why he only throws out-breaking routes, and he'll throw in, sprinkle in the occasional tight window throw that he knows he's able to hit, but he's not confident. There's no confidence in Caleb Williams right now. He's not throwing with any sort of touch or timing. This offense can't get into the rhythm early in the game, and once again, a lot of people say, oh, but he was great in the second half. No, he wasn't. He was garbage. He had a turnover, a stupid turnover. Like, if it was like a forced throw down the middle into coverage, I wouldn't have said anything. I wouldn't have said, oh, he threw a pick, because at that point, they're down by 20-something points, and it doesn't matter. But the way he turned the ball over is so fucking stupid. I mean, that's one of the most embarrassing turnovers by any player, any quarterback, mind you, of this NFL season. And it's probably going to be a top 5 most fucking embarrassing play. How do you lose the fucking ball? How small are your goddamn hands? It doesn't make any sense to me, man. And the fact is, the Caleb Williams supporters and diehards alike will ignore everything that happened in the game and point to stats and point to the receivers not getting open and point to how great the 49ers defense is and other excuses that make no sense. Because once again, they're removing context from the game to push fake narratives that are not rooted in reality. They're rooted in bias, in lies, and in opinions that aren't fucking true. Once again, opinions are just, everyone has a fucking opinion, so it doesn't matter. And you might not think my opinion matters, but I'm literally telling the fucking truth with this video. And the truth is that Caleb Williams was never ready to play. I said it from day one. I'm not like being fucking like sarcastic or trolling or anything like that. I'm serious when I say this. You can go back and scroll down on my channel and see that I said these things, that Caleb Williams can't read coverage. He holds on to the ball. He's just not a good processor of information on the field. When he has to drop back and throw and read and scan coverages and, scan everything on the field, what's happening, he doesn't know what's going on. He gets tunnel vision. He locks onto his first read sometimes. He's decent at getting past his first read, but he's not effective getting past his first read. That's the problem. He looks at one guy for 2 seconds, looks at the next guy for half a second, and just like that, snap of a goddamn finger, he's sacked because he holds the ball for 4, 5, maybe even 6 fucking seconds, trying to make a miracle play happen on a first or second down when he should, just be taking what the defense is giving him or taking the easy underneath throw, which literally is one of the only passes he can hit right now. He can only hit out-breaking routes and hitch routes. That's the only fucking route, and a screen. His stats were inflated. If you take away the screens and the swing passes and the easy little dinky throws to players that are open by 15 fucking yards, then he had a probably under 50 completion percentage. Because those throws don't matter. Those throws literally don't matter because it's a blowout and He had 20 passing yards going into the third quarter. Going into the beginning of the second half of this game against San Francisco, he had under 30 passing yards. And he played like a joke in the first half. He was holding the fucking ball. He wasn't reading defense. He was looking at his first guy. He was only throwing dinky little safe throws, not trying to take a risk early in the game. You're facing the fucking 49ers, who have talent on their roster, but, they are injured right now, but still they have talent regardless. They have depth. And Caleb Williams showed no signs of life against this ravaged San Francisco 49er defense. And that's scary. That's the concerning part. If he doesn't look good against a team with a bunch of fucking injuries on the defensive side of the ball, that's something that is alarming. Like, even if you're the biggest Caleb Williams diehard fanboy of all fucking time in the history of the world, you can't ignore that he played like garbage in this game. You can't point to some arbitrary, meaningless stat that has nothing to do with the actual game that took place today and try to warp reality and say that he played well somehow. Because he didn't even play good in the second half. Oh, but he had 2 passing touchdowns, 2 really good throws. Okay, the first one in the corner was really good. It was a very good throw. And the second one, it was in a gap, so, every quarterback with arm strength can make that throw. It's a good throw, but I'm not trying to discount it. It was a pretty good throw. But any quarterback with a lick of arm strength can fucking make that throw. So let's not try to praise him for 2 solid passes he had the entire fucking game. 2 throws that I could consider good. With the one over the middle, the dig route was, he threw it to a fucking wide open player. So it's not really too impressive. And man, it's just, I don't know what to say anymore about that I haven't already stated about Caleb Williams. I could keep rambling on and on about, stupid shit and keep rambling about Caleb Williams and how, he has fanboys and stuff like that. But the reality is they're not going to see the facts that Caleb Williams is looking like a fucking, just a humongous draft bust right now. He doesn't look like the first overall pick. This guy was picked 1. If he was picked at 13 or if he was picked at 22, I would fucking understand and there would be no motherfucking videos. But this guy was picked at 1. He was considered a generational quarterback prospect by many fucking scouts, by many armchair general managers, by many fans of the Bears. They called him generational, saying they were going to have a great season. They're going to win like 11, 12 games, and Caleb would lead them in the promised land and win the fucking Super Bowl in the first year, or make the Super Bowl in his first fucking year. And that, once again, was not something that was rooted in any sort of reality whatsoever. That was fantasy land. That was a pipe dream. And now they're realizing that it was just it was just that. It was a dream. It was something they conjured up in their fucking deluded minds to try to cope with the fact that they picked another terrible quarterback. And he's worse than Justin Fields. Like, if Justin Fields was playing on this team, they'd have 2-3 more wins. They would be in some sort of playoff position or close to playoff position, maybe even challenging Washington for the final playoff spot. But no, they're stuck with a guy who can't read defense, who holds on to the ball, who takes sacks, who just thinks he's still playing at USC in college and playing cream puff fucking Pac-12 and Mountain West defenses. It's embarrassing. It's a joke. This guy can't play the NFL level. He needs to be benched, and I know that Tyson Bagent, their backup quarterback, is no better. He's probably even fucking worse than Caleb Williams. But hey, man, you don't want to shatter and ruin his confidence this early into his career. It's his first fucking year. He's playing like dog shit. He's only, getting stats in garbage time, which is something else I, have failed to mention so far in this video, is that he's a stat compiler. He's done this in like 3-4 games already where he has a shit first half, gets sacked like 5 times, and throws for 30 yards with a 51 completion percentage on horrible fucking passer rating. And the next half, he has an 80 completion percentage and throws 2 touchdowns, but the team fucking loses by a couple scores. That you can't count those stats as like, yeah, that happened, because it did happen, but within the context of the game, the stats did not matter to the outcome of the game, how the game ended, what team won the game is what I'm trying to say. And once again, deluded Caleb fanboys will keep fucking coming at my neck in the comment section, saying how he's generational, how he's great, how the Bears suck, how they have no line, no receivers, no weapons, no defense, even though they have probably a top 5 fucking defense in the NFL. They had an off day, and Caleb Williams couldn't get the job done. Oh, but the 49ers scored 24 points. They hung 24 on him in the first half, and guess what? The Bears hung 0 on a fucking ravaged 49ers defense. And Caleb Williams, once again, looked like a high schooler, only being able to throw the simplest of fucking throws, screens, swing routes, and outbreakers, and whip routes. The only fucking routes he's able to throw are those. With consistency, at least. With any sort of relative consistency, those are the couple of routes he can throw on the route tree that he can be accurate on and be able to fucking hit those. But anything past that, it's erratic. You don't know what's going to happen, and that is scary. It's embarrassing. It's pathetic. This guy can't play right now in the NFL. Bench him. Bench him immediately. He is not good. He's not ready.
Get his confidence up for next season, start him, and if he sucks in his first fucking 6 weeks next season, then cut him. I don't care. Like, I haven't seen anything that impresses me out of this guy. One decent game against the Jaguars. One. That's all he's had. I'm done with this video. Done talking about Caleb Williams for now, man. Thank you all for watching. This has been Mr. Truth, and this was nothing but the truth.